Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. To those who support this channel in one way or the other, thank you very much. I've got a few friends who sent me some coffee, but they don't want me to call their names. I'll be very loyal, I won't call your names, but wherever you are, just know I'm really grateful. May God continue blessing you. If you're watching our channel for the first time, kindly hit the subscribe button, click the notification bell, and like our videos. There is looming tension, palpable tension between the executive arm of the government and the judiciary. Because in the next few weeks or days, William Samoei Ruto and Madam Martha Koome are going to lock horns over two major precarious rulings that will either make or break William Samoei Ruto. Let us go straight to the two rulings. Number one is court to rule on application seeking to allow CSS serve on Friday. So this Friday, the court is supposed to rule on whether the 50 members that were sworn in to serve as chief administrative secretaries will continue working in those offices or they will vacate office. The other one is the case on the GMO case to be heard on April 17th by a 3-judge bench. So ladies and gentlemen, those two rulings, wherever Ruto is today, he's praying that they go through. The reason why there is palpable tension is because we have seen in the past rulings that are made by the judiciary, but they don't favor the executive. When William Samoei Ruto was sworn in into office, there was a very cordial relationship between his office and that of the judiciary. Madam Martha Koome gave him a resounding victory and used some non-judicial words like non-judicial language like hot air, and this prompted the opposition to complain. We saw the judiciary, some of the members of the judiciary, especially the Supreme Court, lining up when William Ruto was going to Parliament, and people really criticized them that this really infringes on the rights and the autonomy of that very sacred office. So recently, when people saw some of these rulings going against William Ruto, they thought, is the relationship getting sour? The executive tried to guard the media. You remember the letter that was written by the Communications Authority Director, Ezra Chiloba. And when the media went to the courts, the attempt by the government to gag the media was thwarted by the court. And recently, Mike Sonko, the former governor of Nairobi, went to court requesting the court to compel Raila Amolo Odinga to call off the demonstrations and to compel the police to arrest those who participate in the demonstrations. And the court also thwarted that move. We also have another ruling where some of the Azimio members who had been arrested for taking part in the maandamanos were released, and it's being said that the court really read a riot act to the police because it seems they don't know what they are doing. And this is the reason why experts feel that if William Ruto is not very careful, then the die is cast for him. Why are these two cases very important to him? You see, let's begin with the one on the chief administrative secretaries. On this, there are three people who have gone to court. We have the Law Society of Kenya, which is challenging this ruling, and they want the court to scrap off and rule that these people are illegal in office. We have the Attorney General, who is claiming that the High Court, that the case is not under the jurisdiction of the High Court, and he feels that this should go to the Labor and Relations courts. Then there is another guy here called Eliud Matindi. Eliud Matindi is a Kenyan who is living in the United Kingdom. He's requesting the courts, the High Court, to escalate this matter to the Chief Justice. So those are three rulings on this very matter that the judge will deal with. The Law Society of Kenya is arguing that at the time when the vacancies were declared, there was an official communication from the former head of public service, Mr. Joseph Kinyua. He did a letter to the chairperson of the Public Service Commission, and he had only requested for 23 vacancies. That is what was there, in fact, according to the constitution then. But the Law Society of Kenya says that when William Ruto ascended to power, he decided to compel the Public Service Commission to expand the number to 50. And they said that this goes against the letter and spirit of our constitution that requires prudent use of money. Because you remember, this administration has always complained that there is no money, yet they expanded the chief administrative secretaries to a 50 member, and people are complaining because you remember each and every office will come with a secretariat, some vehicles, security, and this will be covered by taxpayers' money. So they feel this is very wrong. But William Ruto really appointed his cronies, those who help him to campaign, people like Millicent Omanga, those who help him to rebel against Raila Odinga like Kidero. So if this case is thwarted, I don't know where people like Itumbi will go. And that is why it is very important to William Samoei Ruto. On the GMO, the petitioners are arguing that, number one, if we allow the GMO, we will become slaves to the USA, because they're saying that GMO seeds don't replicate, and therefore we will continue buying seeds from the manufacturers who are really based in the USA, and we believe that the USA is trying to look for a market in Kenya. They're also arguing that it will kill our natural seeds. Then they are also saying that the manner in which we are being coerced to start importing and consuming GMO is illegal because it was done in an procedural manner. They want all the stakeholders to be included so that we have a cohesive discussion on it. And three, they are saying that there are health issues that people must talk about, and they are asking the courts to put it aside. Again, the Law Society of Kenya is there, and there is another group that calls themselves Kenya Peasant League. The Kenya Peasant League are the major petition on this, which are challenging, the major petition who is challenging the importation and consumption of GMO. But this is also very important to William Samoei Ruto because they made an agreement with the USA and Britain and all those Western countries which helped him to come to power. And one of the things that they agreed on was the market for the GMO. If the courts refuse to grant this permission, then William Ruto will be stranded, because now it means the Western had helped him to become the president of Kenya, but now he cannot deliver his part of the bargain. And this is going to really make their relationship become very sour. They're not going to, it's not going to be business as usual for him. And so this is a make or break for him. It is a matter of life and death. Because the other thing that they talked about was the LGBTQ. And William Ruto, presenting himself as a man of God, really needed the money from the USA, because the USA will compel you to accept the GMO and the LGBTQ, and they give you some money. So William Ruto talked to the judiciary, and they brought some law that the LGBTQ plus community has a right of association. Yet they also declare that it is illegal. So William Ruto is really depending on the judiciary to help him achieve is part of the bargain to the Western nations. So it is very precarious for him, ladies and gentlemen. If the courts rule against him and the 50 names are sent home, people like Kidero, Dennis Itumbi, I don't know where William Ruto will take them. If the courts rule against the GMO, genetically modified organisms, I don't know where William Ruto will go. I don't know what he will tell the Western nation, because they will be very mad. They will be breathing fire. And this is why I'm saying that there is tension between them, because I know he's quoting the judiciary, but from the previous and recent rulings, the rulings have gone against him. So Kenyans are really watching very keenly. They have seen William Ruto acting in a manner that is in a breach of the constitution, sending the KDF to Pokot without passing through parliament, swearing in the chief administrative secretaries without passing through parliament, trying to gag the media, using force on the people who are demonstrating, And it seems that they have a date with William Ruto. Destiny is waiting, and Kenyans are really waiting for this ruling. I don't know how it is good. The court is going to rule, but it is very precarious, and William Ruto is watching keenly. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my take.